Oh boy, every single time I make a video, I always have to take like 5,000 takes because my mom interrupts me, I need to recharge my computer, or in this case, the phone rang, and my mom, because she's deaf, she couldn't hear it, so I had to go out in the front room answer it. So, this is what happens when I make videos. The first couple of takes I usually do smoothly, but I always get exhausted by like the 10,000th take that I start slurring words because I'm just so fucking exhausted from trying to make the video perfect. Now, Shoenhead and Sargon. If you've been a men's rights activist, if you've watched MRA videos on YouTube and followed MRAs on Twitter, and I mean like MRAs including anti-sjw YouTuber accounts, you may have noticed that the people that that Shoenhead's fan base are shifting towards the left. And recently, Sargon of Akkad has been he's been kind of paranoid that Shu is going to become a communist. So he's been making videos lately warning Shu about like far leftists trying to like reel her in. Now I watched the video on the Surfs Times and doing like a reaction video to Sargon's video. Something that I really noticed, in a Surfs Times audience, is that there's definitely a huge double standard between Shoenhead and Sargon of Akkad for some reason. I think maybe it's just because Shoenhead is a woman, so that leftists don't think that I think when it comes to male MRAs, I think people are more tolerant of female MRAs than they are of male MRAs because if you're a woman, it's really hard to hate women as a woman because you are a woman. But when you're a man and you're complaining about feminism, people probably assume that you just hate women or hate the notion of equality, even though that the vast majority of men's rights, okay, I can't really say vast majority, I don't really know the statistics, but I mean, I'm using good faith. I mean, I think that the majority of men's rights activists are good people and are just we find that feminists like feminists don't want equality. There's like feminists have like swung the pendulum too far in the other direction, where now women are the privileged gender, and we're trying to we're trying to get it back to being like back into the center. So the thing is with men's rights activists, I think there's any problem that a woman has with feminists, men have it way worse. Okay, so I mean, if Sargon of Akkad doesn't seem as happy being a guy than as Sean Head is being a woman, then I mean it's because like feminism targets men like more than women do. But saying that aside, I mean I feel like the people in the comment section are like have this fucking double standard where if Sean Head tells a joke, they interpret it one way, but if Sargon tells the same exact joke, they interpret it another way. See, when Sean Head talks about feminism, everybody knows that she's talking about the bad kind, the pop mainstream feminism. But when Sargon complains about feminism, they think that he's talking about all feminism, including the ones that actually do want equality. Even though, are there any like classic feminists who still consider themselves feminists anymore? I feel like most of the classic feminists call themselves like egalitarian nowadays. Because like I don't know, I feel like I kind of feel like we should, retire both the terms feminist and men's rights activist, because I think everybody should just call themselves an egalitarian nowadays, because there wouldn't be like such a big fuss about. It wouldn't be so divisive, because like I mean. Anyway, if Sean Head says something like, I find it dumb that Disney keeps hyping about putting gay characters in movies, but they only show up on screen for 3 seconds anyway. See, if Sean Head made that point, a lot of leftists would be like, yeah, I think that's dumb. But if Sargon made the same joke, people would like think that he's like being homophobic. It's like it's just and the thing is, they keep saying, and people keep saying that, well, I mean, like originally it was the liberals that were against anti-sjw. I mean, It was the liberals that were anti-SJW. Well, I like until all these until all these anti-SJWs started becoming right wing. It's like, the thing is, if you're looking at on a European standard, like a European scale of left versus right, it's men's rights activists are still left wing according to European standards. It's just that Donald Trump, somebody who is a Republican, and the Republican Party is typically known as the right-wing party, just so happens to support like a revised Title IX policy that allows for due process, which is something men's rights activists were trying to advocate for a long time, and that Joe Biden, who is a Democrat, and Democrats are traditionally more left-leaning than Republicans are. I mean, Republicans traditionally were. People now assume that we, just because we've started identifying as right-wing, that our entire, political beliefs did a 180, which is complete bullshit. My political identity has become more right-leaning, but my actual politics, my beliefs, according to the European standard, have always been left-leaning. See, if I was in Europe, I would be a leftist, basically. The thing is, I don't live in Europe, so the Democratic Party is got completely overrun by all these people that think that all men are misogynist. The thing is, if you actually look at what men's rights activists believes, there's no fucking difference. There's no reason why the LGBT and feminism are both left-leaning, but somehow men's rights activists and fascism are somehow both right-leaning. It doesn't make any sense. They're not compatible. Like, a real men's rights activist would, by definition, be absolutely not a fascist. They're just not compatible. When it comes, okay, look at this way. Feminism, women have the right to be sexually promiscuous. LGBT also support the right to be sexually promiscuous. MRAs, think about it this way: both feminism and LGBT are accepted in society. Do you know, what's missing? I don't know. Straight men. Yeah, where's straight men in this equation? I mean, if you have a gay person and a woman being sexually promiscuous, I mean, everybody just accepts that. Okay, they understand consent, but people keep thinking that if a straight guy is sexually promiscuous, he's a threat and he doesn't understand consent. And straight guys should just be completely asexual unless women just allow them to. It's this double standard. I mean, there's no reason why fascism and men's rights activists are in the same fucking point of the political spectrum. I don't know. It's just that I want men's rights activists to be accepted in leftist groups, but if you keep randomly, if you keep but if one person has, but you shouldn't just let some men's rights activists into the left, but not others, but still use the same. But if somebody doesn't identify as a right-leaning, I just want to say there's a fucking big difference between political ideology and political identity. Political identity is what group that you want to associate with, versus political beliefs have to do with has to do with what you actually believe. Because just because I identify as an MRA, and most people that identify as an MRA identify as a right-leaning person, doesn't mean that I have personal beliefs that are this straw man of I'm not this caricature of this right-wing person that everybody thinks that if you have one belief in the that's accepted by right-leaning people, that all of your beliefs have to do a complete 180 degree, because that's the thing. If I lived in Europe, I'd definitely be left-wing all the fucking way. Except for maybe England, because England is kind of similar to the United States like this. But if I lived in Scandinavia, I'd be fucking left-wing as shit. Of course, by Scandinavian cultures, they're more left-leaning in the economics. So they're I'd still be right-leaning even by Scandinavian standards, but I'd definitely be left-leaning on men's rights activist standards in Scandinavia, because in all these other places, men's rights activists are considered progressive, whereas yeah. So this whole political spectrum is bullshit. You shouldn't just keep thinking that like you shouldn't just interpret somebody's somebody's jokes differently because they identify as a different they identify as a similar they identify as a different like political identity. Cause I mean, I've honestly tried to make the right wing I've tried to make conservatives like more progressive, because there's well, I mean, she constantly says that she's trying to fix the left. Well, I'm like, I think I could fit. I think that I could fix the right too. I mean, I feel like both parties could be like fixed. I mean, the difference between the parties will be diminished, but I mean, you could just like, I feel like if if Sean Head thinks that she could like fix the left to accept anti-SJW stuff, then I could try to fix the right and make them more acceptable of LGBT rights, or be more accepting of pornography, which kind of actually already happened with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's wife is hot as fuck. Okay, I just had to say that. She is. I mean, I can't be lying saying that. So I mean, I hope this video turns out good. Bye.